Call the meeting to order. Let's rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Chairman Weigel.
Here.
Robert Howard.
Here.
Steve Ballard.
Here.
Lauren Staley Ferry. Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. We have minutes from October 11th. Any additions or corrections?
Move to approve.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. New business. First case. Kim? Kim's on. Okay, Brian.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is for a map amendment from A1 to I1. It's in Greenwood Township on Route 45. The applicant is interested in rezoning the property and constructing a building for a sewer and water business. The Green Garden Township Plan Commission recommended approval of this request. The staff recommended denial because we believe it was a case of spot zoning. There's not too many other, there's actually not a whole lot of I1 zoning anywhere in the immediate vicinity. And we see this as the rural form, and that's why we recommended denial of the request. At the public hearing, the applicant produced information indicating that the reason it had been, this had been before you once before and was sent back to complete an NRI, and the applicant produced some information indicating that the Will South Cook Soil and Water Conservation District report was, their numbers weren't accurate as it pertains to LISA score. And why that's important is because the higher the LISA score, the higher it's categorized as prime farmland. Now, regardless of the outcome of whether or not that score is higher or lower, staff still feels that this is a spot zoning request, and therefore we are recommending denial. But there were no objectors at the public hearing, and the Plan Commission did recommend approval.
Thank you. Are there any objectors here today? Any questions by the committee? No comments? We have a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next case, Brian.
Okay, the next case is ZC 16022. This is a map amendment from A2 to A1. And the purpose of this request is to allow the stabling, boarding, and training of horses and riding lessons. That is a permitted activity in the A2, but only if there's a primary use on the property. This property is only going to be, it is zoned A1, it won't have a residential structure. It's only going to, it is zoned A2, and the reason they're requesting it A1 is because in A1 you can have a riding stable and training facility as a principal use without a residential structure. So they're requesting this A1 zoning district to do that. There were no objectors to this request, and the staff recommended approval.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion.
Second.
Second. Any objectors to this? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Other business, school contribution ordinance. Dave?
Good morning. The text before you was prepared by Kevin in the State's Attorney's Office. It reflects the direction of the board with regard to changes to the school site contribution ordinance. The current ordinance requires annual submittals by school districts of updated MEI appraisals, which have historically not been submitted on a current basis and thereby may not actually reflect current market valuations. So what the county board has directed the staff to do is prepare a text amendment that follows a process similar in nature to that in the park land contribution ordinance, in which the supervisor of assessment's office provides a current market value price per acre, which would be more true again to current market conditions, and that would be used in the school site contribution ordinance rather than in the annual submittal by school districts. And what I'm looking for today is the direction from the committee to go ahead and set this for a public hearing in December. And we've already started the wheels in motion to go there. So.
Okay. Any questions or comments by committee?
Yeah,
Tom?
yeah. Okay, so basically what we did is we're actually putting a true value on the value of the acre now, is by going to the supervisor assessments.
The supervisor of assessments will provide a current market value.
Okay. So that'd be more in line of what actually should be there.
Yes.
So we corrected this. Now, how about compliance with the school districts, though? Are we still going to push for compliance on that, or is that something we need to go downstate and actually revamp it?
The school districts have to comply with the ordinance provisions. And the school districts will be, or actually are being advised of the public hearing of this change, and so they all will be noticed that this is the new process.
Okay, but in the past, though, the problem was that they were just ignoring this.
I can't speak to if each individual district was ignoring it, but I can tell you is that we will be following up with the districts to advise them of the process that they need to follow this.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Well, it wasn't, to speak to what Bob said, if the school doesn't agree with the assessment from the county assessor, then they can protest that agreement, that assessment. But this was a way to be current with everything, and it's a good idea. So do you need a motion to concur?
Yeah, motion to.
I make a motion to concur.
To concur and move forward to public hearing.
Second.
Second. Any other comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next one is the historic landmark. Jeannie?
So up before you today is the nomination of Pioneer Memorial Cemetery as a Will County landmark. It's historically known as Denny Cemetery, and it's located at the intersection of South Wolf Road and Denny Avenue in Mokina. It's located within the municipal boundaries of the village of Mokina, and the village is also the owner of the property. On October 10th of 2016, they passed resolution 2016-R-006, expressing their support of the nomination and authorizing us to designate the cemetery. Pioneer Memorial Cemetery was nominated by a Will County Historic Commission member, Matt Galick, and it was nominated for 4 of the 12 criteria for consideration of nomination, and staff supported criteria A, C, J, and L. The cemetery was established by Alan Denny, who was a War of 1812 veteran and an abolitionist. And he was also a very early Will County settler, arriving in 1834. His father, Charles, was the second interment in the cemetery in 1839, and he is only one of 4 Revolutionary War veterans buried in Will County. Denny Cemetery was renamed Pioneer Memorial Cemetery in 1939 to honor those early pioneers of the Mokina area and Will County. The Will County Historic Preservation Commission held a public hearing on November 2nd, and there were no objections to the nomination, and they voted unanimously to recommend approval. So today I'm asking for your approval of the nomination of Pioneer Memorial Cemetery as a Will County landmark.
Any questions by the committee?
Motion.
Have a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. On the reports, I have no report. Committee members, any comments?
I'd like to make a comment. This will be my last land use committee meeting, but I express my gratitude to the staff and to fellow committee members. I have to compliment the staff. Generally, when you're in an unincorporated area, that's where our majority of our complaints actually exist, is from basically land use, as far as a problem out there, a perceived problem. I received nothing but cooperation and assistance from the staff. Whenever there was a problem, you guys stepped up to the plate and took care of it ASAP. And then for elected official, I think that's, we can't ask for anything more than that. So, and again, as far as due diligence, I think you're probably one of the top divisions of the county as far as keeping up on what's actually going on out there, and then actually providing that answer. And then Kurt, I have to thank you for a lot of your answers. They might have been lengthy, but they were very, very informative, when they were done. So again, a compliment to you, and then staff, and I believe you select the staff, and I think you did a phenomenal job. So thanks again. But I do have one request going forward, and this is more for the committee members and the fellow board members, is that we look to having someone from the unincorporated area always has a presence in the committee, because I think that's very, very important, because generally that's the area that we cover with our land use department. So, but thanks again.
Any other comments? Yeah, thanks, Bob, for your service. We really appreciate it. You've been a good asset for our committee. Director, any comments?
I'll ask Mr. Radner to make a comment.
All right, and Dave was going to say something after me, but yeah, there you go. Thank you, Tom. I'm pleased to announce that Janine will be filling Kimberly's position, so you'll be seeing her a lot more often, and she will continue to do the historic preservation activities.
Very good. David?
Okay, and I just want to advise the committee that with regard to the Illinois Housing Cottage opportunities, there will be a public hearing in December of the Planning and Zoning Commission, and I will be taking forward text amendment language that reflects the motions that you made at your last committee meeting, and I'm taking that as direction to set up a public hearing. But I just want to advise you is that, again, the draft text amendments reflect those motions at last committee, and then after public hearing in January, you'll receive any public comments for moving it forward in January.
Okay. Any public comment? Any others? Any motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we're adjourned. Thank you.